Hello, my name is Uhfgood, and today, for the past few days, I've been kind of floundering a little bit. I've been dealing with Unity and Blender and Godot before that, and some tutorials and whatnot. But the one of the one of the main important parts of my game is going to be the 2D animation, and I wanted to get up on my drawing a little bit, especially with the drawing tablet, since I'm still not that experienced with it. And lately, I've been kind of neglecting that in favor of some other stuff. And I wanted to kind of get back to the 2D aspects. And so, last time, I was starting to go through a tutorial at drawbox.com. And one thing that the tutorial emphasized was following the rules exactly, the instruction exactly, and which I'm fine with. And one of the first things it talked about was using a pen so that you couldn't go back to like erasing stuff, and rotating your paper. And I thought about for a second, because what I'm doing is, to make my game, I'm going to use Blender Grease Pencil, digital art tool, and I'm going to be using my graphics tablet. I can't really rotate my graphics tablet. I know maybe some later tablets have that, maybe some screen ones have it, but this is an Intuos 3 from 10 years ago, and it's just what it is. So, I asked the creator of the tutorial, what I should do. Should I just, quit altogether? And he replied something along the lines of that it was made a specific way, and what you need to do is you need to follow it exactly. You need to use a pen, and you need to be able to rotate your paper and all that stuff. And so I just kind of decided, well, I have a specific purpose. I have a specific methodology that I'm using to make my game with. And I decided that if I can't if I can't use my graphics tablet, and and I have to rotate my paper, then maybe I should look elsewhere for some sort of drawing thing. So I've been looking at other drawing courses. You saw, like, I don't know, a couple months back when I was practicing with some little little sketching exercises in grease pencil, and then I sort of stopped that a little bit, and then because it was a beginner drawing one too. So I started looking at drawing stuff again. I was thinking about the tracing I was doing. I just did that like one video, or one day, or one group or set or whatever, where I would take a comic strip. I took a Peanuts comic strip, and then I took a dwarves from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and I like traced over them. And I'm still, or I was still thinking about actually going back to that. I'm still kind of might. I still kind of think that's a good way to at least get familiar with your graphics tablet if you've drawn before. Also, the good thing about the tracing and copying for that matter, is that the drawings are already simplified. So instead of having a real house, a real dog, a real whatever, you're drawing cartoon representations of them, and you're drawing a very simplified version. And maybe that goes against some, I don't know, some drawing teacher's idea. I still think it's kind of a good idea. Actually, I had written down somewhere, and I'm not sure where it is anymore because it's buried in some papers or in some box somewhere, or forget, where I had all these like different things, because you have like you have your lines, your marks, lines and curves, and you have your shapes, the basic shapes like a square and a square, rectangle, triangle, circle, that sort of thing, right? Ellipse. And then you have your 3D shapes. You have like you have a cone, you have a pyramid, you have a box, cube, whatever, and you have a sphere, which is basically a circle with some shading or whatever. But you also have a cylinder. And so I was thinking, there's things that I kind of came up with. In fact, I should go back to doing that. But where what you would do is, I don't remember the exact order, but you'd start with your basic shapes: your triangle, your square, your what else would you? Triangle, square, circle. Triangle, square, and circle, as far as the basic shapes go. And then you go in your more kind of advanced, like not really a 3D, but where you play with those a little bit. And so you'll have something like a rectangle, which square being all four sides are equal, and a rectangle where two parallel sides are equal in length. And then an ellipse is like a circle, but it's like a squish circle, right? So ellipses and ovals. And I don't know what you do with how you would modify a triangle, maybe other than trying to do the different types of triangle. Isosceles, obtuse, and forget what the third type of triangle is. But then after you kind of mess around with these, and you could even go as far as doing more shapes, like for a circle and an oval. You could also do we'll say, based off a triangle. You could also do like a diamond, which is basically like a square, but it's it's upended where its points are up and down. So square and a diamond are kind of similar. But then you could also add multiple sides, right? So you can have a pentagon, you can have a hexagon, and you can have an octagon, and a decagon, I guess, 10 sides. But so basically, you'd start by drawing the shapes, and you draw them kind of over and over until you got comfortable with them, and then you would go branch out from those into 3D shapes, like your sphere, your cube, your pyramid, your cylinder, your cone. I don't know about other 3D shapes, but you could basically take those basic shapes like a pentagon, hexagon, octagon, and make them 3D as well. Just by extruding it or enlarging it. And then one of the other things to do is, again, I'm not sure the order of these. I would say the shapes and then the 3D shapes, and then when you're ready to graduate to the next step, it would be something like you'd take various pictures, any kind of image, and then you would trace over them with shapes. So you'd identify the shapes, and you'd trace over all the shapes that you drew, and in the first part, to start identifying the shapes that make up an image, right? And so then you would go to the 3D objects in an image. So you go from identifying shapes to identifying the actual 3D objects. That if it's a grain silo, it's going to be a cylinder. If it's a house, the base of the house is like a cube, right? And that sort of thing. And then after you did that, then you could start you could trace the shapes and trace the 3D shapes, and then you could also go to like comic books, coloring books, just has the line art in it, comic strips. You could go to, cartoon characters, cartoons, and you could trace them, and then you could copy them. And then by that stage, you could also do the shape identifying thing. It would actually be the 3D shape identifying thing for your cartoon characters and comic strip characters, because there's this thing called construction, right? So with construction, let's see if I can pull something up on here. Drawing with construction. And right, construction basics. Those are YouTube deals. Let's see if we can find a non-YouTube, not construction drawings. Although it's similar. That's not it. Not building design. Doggone. Drawing fundamentals construction. Okay, let's see. Fundamentals of art, how to learn them. Let's see if this says anything. Well, you can see there. Well, that's just for perspective though. But form. What's this? Form and perspective. Anatomy, right? Composition. Ooh, I like that. Put that as my background. I don't know what that's from, but it's awesome looking. Actually, open a new tab. Open image in a new tab. Why can't I? Okay, I guess I can save it. Fine, we'll leave it as this, I guess. And then I'll show in folder. Can I set as my background in here? It says desktop background. How's it do it? Okay, good. This little. Maybe I'll leave that for a while. What are we at? We're at 13 minutes. I guess. Yeah. Oh, that's the wrong thing. What? 55 available tests? That's crazy. Anyways, yeah. So I guess we're at here at the. That's pretty cool. The end of this video. I don't want to get too much farther. I know it's just talking again, but I promise to get into something here in the next video or two. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.